Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back class 7th in your physics class. So in today's class we'll study about the magnets, about the properties of a magnets and about the magnetic field. So you are familiar with the word magnet. So what are the magnets? Magnets are, and you have learned about the magnets in earlier classes also. The magnets are rocks or metals that create an invisible field around themselves. This field attracts other magnets and certain metals. A magnetic field is concentrated around the ends of a magnet, and ends are called poles. So a magnet is a metal or a rock. Okay, so what is a magnet? A magnet is a substance like iron, nickel, steel, and cobalt is called a magnet. The property of attracting magnetic substance is called magnetism. The force exerted by a magnet is called magnetic force. So a magnet, what is a magnet? A substance that attracts magnetic substances like iron, steel, cobalt is called a magnet, and the force exerted by a magnet is called magnetic field. And there are two types of magnets: natural and artificial. Artificial magnets are generally used for practical purposes. It is because natural magnets are found in irregular shapes and sizes, and they have a very weak magnetic fields. Artificial magnets, people make magnets from metals, for example the magnet we use on the fridge. And natural magnets, they are minerals that attract iron, such as magnetite. So there are two types of magnets, natural and artificial. Properties of a magnet. First property is the attractive property. A magnet attracts magnetic substances toward itself. This property of magnet is called its attractive property. So the attractive property is not the same everywhere along the length of the magnet. It is maximum near the ends. The ends of a magnet where the magnetic strength is maximum are called its poles. The poles are not situated exactly at the ends of the magnet but slightly inwards. This means magnetic length of a magnet is slightly less than its geometric length. Attractive property is the magnet attracts magnetic substances. Magnetic substances like iron, steel, nickel, cobalt, or you can say metals. Right? So to attract the metals, or you can say magnetic substance, this property is known as attractive property of a magnet. And this property is not the same everywhere along the length of the magnet. The attractive property is maximum near the ends of the magnets, or you can say near the poles of a magnet. Next property is the directive property. When you freely suspend a magnet, you will notice that that magnet always rests in the north-south direction. So this property is of a magnet is called its directive property. This property is used in magnetic compass. The end of the magnet that points towards the north of the earth is called north seeking pole or north pole. I have told you that the magnet has two poles. So the end which seeks towards the north of the earth is called the north pole, and the end of the magnet which points towards the south of the earth is called the south seeking pole or south pole of the magnet. So the directive property is what? When you freely suspend a magnet, you will notice that that magnet always point in the north south direction. This is the directive property. Third property is the magnetic poles always exist in pairs. We can't isolate north pole or south pole of a magnet. Every magnet has a north pole and a south pole, and we cannot separate the north pole and the south pole. So the poles of a magnet always exist in pairs. We can also say that poles of a magnet are inseparable. when you break a magnet into two parts, then each part behave as a complete magnet. Each part has the attractive and directive properties. When you again break both the parts, so all the four parts behave an individual magnet. So here in this figure you can see that the one magnet is broken into two, and these two broken magnets are also behaving like a uh, like an individual magnet. And then again the two magnets are broken into the four parts, and all the four parts are behaving like an individual magnets. They all are having the north pole and the south pole, so the pole exists in pairs. Next is the like poles repel and unlike poles attract. This is also known as law of magnetism. So this is the basic law of magnetism, and it says that the like poles repel each other and the unlike poles attract each other. So this can easily be observed when you bring the poles of two magnets. When you bring them near, they exert force on each other. Okay, so here in this figure, in the first case, you can see that the north pole and the south poles, when we bring the north pole and the south poles near each other, then they attract each other. In the second case, you can see that when the south pole of one magnet and the south pole of another magnets are brought near with each other, then you will observe that the repulsion takes place. There will be no attractive force, there will be repulsion. So south and south are the like poles, so like poles repel each other. And in the third case, you can also see that when we bring north and north pole of the north pole of both the magnets towards each other, then you will observe that there is no attraction force in between them. They both were there will be a repulsion force. So you can conclude that the similar poles repel and the opposite poles attract. This is known as the law of magnetism. Next is the test for a magnet. Take a magnet and a magnetic substances like iron. Bring each pole of the magnet near the magnetic substance. You will find that both the poles attract the magnetic substance. It means only magnetic attraction is possible between a magnet and a magnetic material. If both the poles of a magnet attracts that substance, that means that substance is a magnetic material, not a magnet. Okay. Now when you on the other hand, when magnetic repulsion is possible only between the like poles of two magnets. Therefore, when any object is repelled by a magnet, the object is surely a magnet. Hence repulsion is the sure that test of magnetism. When you bring a magnet near any substance, and if both the poles of the magnets are attracting with that substance, it means that that substance is not a magnet, it is a magnetic material. But if you will find that any one of the pole of a magnet is behaving is not attracting towards that substance, it means that that substance is a magnetic substance. So when repulsion take place, then you can say that that material is a magnetic material. So we can conclude that repulsion is the sure test of magnetism. Now the magnet attracts and there is a magnetic field. So what is a magnetic field? Magnetic field is defined as a region around a magnet where the magnetic force can be experienced by the object. When you place a bar magnet on a cardboard and sprinkle some iron fillings around the magnet, on tapping the cardboard, the iron fillings arrange themselves in a particular pattern. This particular pattern is obtained because of the force exerted by the magnet on the fillings. Similarly, when we place a magnetic compass on a table, its needle rests in the north-south direction. On placing a bar magnet near the compass, its needle deflects and rests in a direction other than north south. It is because the needle gets influenced by the force exerted by the bar magnet. So, the space around a magnet in which its effect can be experienced is called a magnetic field. So, the magnetic field always, you can say, the direction of magnetic field is always from north to south. So if you place any magnetic material near the magnet, and if that material experienced a force, it gets influenced by the force exerted by the magnet, then the region around a magnet where the magnetic force can be experienced by the object is called a magnetic field. So that substance which we place near the magnet experience the force because that substance is kept around the magnet, and that region is a magnetic is the magnetic field.